High-risk fugitives are individuals who have committed serious crimes and are actively evading law enforcement. These criminals are often considered dangerous because of the nature of their offenses, their ability to escape capture, and their likelihood of causing harm to others while on the run. High-risk fugitives include individuals wanted for violent crimes, such as murder, armed robbery, sexual assault, or even terrorism-related offenses. Here's a detailed look at high-risk fugitives. Types of high-risk fugitives. Murderers, those who have committed one or more murders and are attempting to evade arrest. These fugitives are often dangerous because they may resort to violence to protect themselves and avoid capture. Notable examples include people like the Green River Killer Gary Ridgway, who had a history of killing women, or the fugitive murderer Richard Matt, who escaped from prison in 2015. 2. Rapists and sexual offenders. Fugitives wanted for sexual assault, including serial rapists. These individuals may continue to harm others if they are not apprehended. One notorious fugitive in this category was Israel Keys, a serial killer and rapist who was active for many years. 3. Armed robbers. Fugitives involved in violent armed robberies, such as bank robberies or robberies of high-value targets, like armored cars. These criminals are often armed and could be willing to engage in violence if confronted. 4. Drug traffickers. High-profile drug dealers or traffickers, particularly those involved in large-scale trafficking networks. These fugitives might be linked to organized crime syndicates or gangs. Their criminal activities may involve violence and intimidation. 5. Terrorists. Fugitives involved in terrorism-related crimes, including those who have engaged in violent acts for political, ideological, or religious reasons. These individuals are considered extremely dangerous due to their willingness to engage in mass violence. For example, those responsible for the September 11th attacks or other terror-related incidents may remain on the run for a period. Gang leaders, members or leaders of criminal organizations, such as drug cartels, street gangs, or other organized crime groups. These fugitives often have connections and resources that allow them to evade capture. Their continued criminal activities pose significant danger to communities. 7. White-collar criminals. Although typically nonviolent, certain high-profile white-collar criminals who evade capture are dangerous in their own way. These might include large-scale fraudsters or embezzlers who have stolen large sums of money and can harm countless people financially. Characteristics of high-risk fugitives. Violent tendencies. Many high-risk fugitives are armed and willing to engage in violence if confronted. Their desperation to avoid capture may make them more likely to commit further violent acts. Resourcefulness. Some fugitives have extensive resources or networks that help them hide and avoid being apprehended. For example, they might have access to safe houses, fake identities, or financial resources that allow them to stay on the run for extended periods. Manipulative and elusive. High-risk fugitives may be skilled in manipulation and deception, using tactics such as disguises, altering their appearance, or changing locations frequently to avoid being caught. They often use false documentation, employ mules to help them, or hide in plain sight.
Tracking, phone records, and social media monitoring to locate individuals. 5. Media and social media. High-risk fugitives are sometimes featured in media campaigns, and information about them may be spread on social media platforms. This public awareness can lead to tips or sightings, helping authorities close in on the fugitives' whereabouts. Notorious high-risk fugitives in U.S. history. 1. D.B. Cooper. In 1971, D.B. Cooper hijacked a plane, extorted a ransom, and parachuted out of the plane, disappearing without a trace. His identity and whereabouts remain unknown. 2. James Whitey Bulger, a notorious Boston gangster. Bulger was wanted for multiple murders and organized crime. He evaded capture for 16 years before being arrested in 2011. He engaged in a nationwide bombing campaign for nearly 2 decades. The Long Island serial killer. As of now, the identity of this individual remains a mystery. Several murders of women, who were often linked to the sex trade, have been attributed to the killer. The case remains open, and the fugitive continues to evade capture. Challenges in capturing high-risk fugitives. 1. Resources and planning. Many high-risk fugitives have access to extensive resources, such as money, transportation, and networks that help them stay out of the public eye. 2. Geographic hiding. Some fugitives may flee to foreign countries, which complicates their capture, as they may be beyond the reach of U.S. authorities. 3. Public safety risks. High-risk fugitives may continue to commit violent acts, posing a danger to the public. The longer they remain at large, the greater the potential for harm.